Ask that because I feel like it's such a charged set of words in thinking about knowing that Kant made this treaty and how we perceive of things. The sublime taste is a factor of judgment in the works of art. I'm really unqualified to talk about that.
Kant made this treaty, the sublime.
We had a critique about what it means to perceive of objects, to say that they are good or bad.
So many levels.
And what was his critique?
I honestly can't remember. I spent a month and a half reading nothing but it, and I cannot quite recall.
What did he take issue with?
I can't recall.
Where's your phone?
Yeah.
But I feel like Duchamp was trying to prove that he could create a work of art that he removed himself from, that he didn't care for that he didn't care for, he cared neither for nor against an object, which I think itself is a form of taste for him, or a personal
I think it's a form of kind of protest. I feel that. I'd be curious to think about how Duchamp felt about sort of material things in general. Yeah, I'd love to know what his house looked like. Like, what kind of stuff did he live with?
Well, yeah. When he lived in
maybe there are images I can look up
was
of
about
this.
to bike past his house, just on the edge of Spain and France. Cadiz or something. And he made a fireplace in there as well as a wall to block the wind.
So he's kind of like a craftsman.
Yeah, no. He was
Incredible craftsman.
an incredible craftsman. He always had a hatred of the traditional form of craft.
Did he have a hatred of the traditional form of craft, or did he have a hatred of
The kind of
What do you call it?
I wonder if he hated.
the mood.
I wonder if he hated the
Oh my god.
like a coffee cup, or if he hated the Mona Lisa.
No, I think he hated the group of people that called themselves craftsmen and said that, you had to be kind of
I think he hated any form of dogma.
any form of dogma. Really?
I never remember what dogma is.
Was he a Christian?
No, not at all. I think if anything, he was very dogmatic.
He was very dogmatic. How so?
Dogma is going against the grain, right?
No, dogma is when you buy into a set of beliefs.
Really? I should know this word more.
Yeah, you should.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that a huge part of contemporary art is about removing dogma. Combating dogma.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Look at this.
Is a word I never use.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that. So my issue with a lot of like contemporary paintings and stuff like that is I feel like they're very dogmatic in the way that they sort of drink the Kool-Aid about what contemporary painting looks like and is and what's going to make it successful, and then they just follow that kind of algorithm. It's the same thing that I have wrong with so much contemporary pottery. It's like if I wanted to get on the cover of Ceramics Monthly, there's just like a set of things you have to do, and yeah, it takes a certain like.
Ceramics Monthly though is a different story.
I mean, maybe not.
I mean,
Well,
maybe not.
no, it's the same thing. It's totally the same thing. I mean, like, I guess I'm. The last show at Susan Hilberry.
Which I didn't see. Do you remember
Which
the
I
name
didn't
of the
see. Do you remember the name of the artist?
I can't remember the name of the artist. It's probably best that I don't
Kate
remember.
Levon?
No, it wasn't Kate Levon, I don't think. Bunch of paintings on the wall.
Remember?
Who's a man?
Rebecca's writing an article about it. I talked
Ivan
to her. It's
Bowling?
like, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ivan.
And she liked it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess she. I just felt like it just looked like every other contemporary painting show with a bunch of bright shapes and colors and things stuck on top of each other, and you know, just like it just looked like a collage on the internet of striking images, and it's kind of like poking at culture while also wholeheartedly participating in it in this super elite upper echelon culture while also wholeheartedly participating in it in this super elite upper echelon market of
Speed
it.
it up.
Oh,
Where
okay, do that.
it's not just about the aesthetic, but about
I kind of see that all the time, and I think that's a.
Do it.
That there's a certain dogma in being willing to just participate in that.
there's a certain dog.
Do it.
Which is funny because I think that it is
Which is
behind.
funny.
seen as the thing which is not dogmatic.
I feel like dog.
Do it again.
Or, yeah.
I feel like dog
is not
or
speaking out.
yeah,
against
dogma
it, but
is not
I think
speaking
that
out
people
against it, but
forget to question it and don't always know what's
they
happening.
go with the flow. But
But
truthfully, we're at a point where everything
everything
is art. Like,
Wait, who?
you can't say what.
No, I can't.
I mean, you can say whatever you want. That's fine.
I can't right now.
However, if you're gonna say something is
an
not
artist.
good, you need to be very sure in how you're saying it, because otherwise you could be seen as being oppressive to another group of people who think that something is quite good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't think it wasn't good for that person. You know, maybe it was just what that person needed. I just didn't. I didn't think it was scary.
Scary?
I didn't think it was dangerous. You know, I didn't think that it. Like, I don't think that
Or it
he
needs
thought.
to be dangerous.
I think the stuff I'm most interested in is when it is like, yes, something, there's like an amount of unsureness about it. I want to see risk.
When have you seen this?
When have I seen this?
Yeah.
I've seen it in some sort of community work, like where it's, you know, maybe when the person started, they weren't even like sure that it was art or sure that it needed to be even seen as that. But, you know, it wasn't even, the risk was really just that they felt like they had to do it, and that some idea about its economic viability was something that they couldn't afford to even, they couldn't consider, because it had to just be done. Maybe that's like really over romanticizing it and doesn't actually really often happen. Or like just when I'm, you know, when someone might start off on something and just not feel confident that it's gonna be good, or that anyone's gonna like it, or that they're gonna receive accolades for it. You know, just doing it because. So that was the
Maybe that's a good reason not to.
That's what they need to do, which is funny because it's exactly the opposite of what I've been telling you I feel like I'm doing sometimes. And maybe that's not, maybe.
What did you tell me you were doing?
Is that I frequently feel like
You were obligated to do this thing?
sometimes I'm just doing things because I think it's gonna like work for me. And I'm trying to not do that. But it's really hard to not do that because I think inherently you try to figure out how to sort of sustain yourself. I think that I need to do that, right? Like, in order to continue making, or continue sort of being an artist or having opportunities to make art, or to continue having opportunities to like teach, which is currently my livelihood.
But then just think about a little kid, how a kid doesn't know what's right or wrong. They just do what they feel like doing,
Right.
And they do it joyfully. Maybe they don't. Maybe there's no pinning it down to exactly.
And what are the kids that you admire most?
I mean, I don't know. I just babysat like a few days ago, and I was with this little girl who was just yanking at my hair, but also bringing me these toys that they felt really cool about, or they thought were like really sweet, and then they really enjoyed kind of going around the corner and then popping back out to see if I would notice and twatting. But they're just responding to, the perception that's inside of them that's just has, that can recognize a desire but nothing more. They can't intellectualize that or want to understand that, I guess. And that's the core of art making right there. It's that same kind of childishness, that doesn't know any other reasoning. But just to simply do what feels right, to be open to things. I mean, that also feeds into one narrative of what an artist is. I don't know that, Duchamp necessarily would be just a lifelong child. However, I do think that he was forever bankrolled by his dad. And I think, he was able to do lots of things that he felt very compelled to do, like studying chess for a very long amount of time.
Right.
And not that it's not hard work. I mean, it's certainly quite hard to become a grandmaster at chess, but I don't think that it is the opportunity that often comes to everyone. So. How did we get on this? What was the first question with this?
Well, it makes me think about skateboarders. And the skateboarders I most like are not the ones that do necessarily the biggest, most difficult tricks. Although there is a certain quality, there is a certain positive thing that comes out of, doing it a little bigger. Whoa! Getting dizzy with it. But the ones I really like are the ones who are like doing very strange creative things that I've just never seen a skateboarder do before.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like to see that.
Yeah, and it's fulfilling for them to a certain degree, but it's also probably kind of silly for them. So.
Well, there's a certain type of risk. I'm sure it's extraordinarily fulfilling to them. I'm sure they, most of the time, love that. well, to skateboard, or else you never would have spent the time to get to a point where you were good enough to be a pro skateboarder?
There can be a framework for this in thinking about this idea of sincerity, as well as ego. I guess it's ego, really, right? And ego is not necessarily always a bad thing. It can really drive someone to do something that they otherwise would never do, which can lead to new and unexpected and fun things.
I'm confused about where that statement came from.
I guess I'm just trying to put things into context, because we're talking about people doing genuine things, right? You know, can artwork ever be a completely genuine act?
I think we've been talking about that for a while. I think what we were talking about. Oh. Sorry.
You get caught up?
I don't know. Just like put a bow on the back of his head. It's good.
Hamilton, hey, look at this. Look. Just tickle it. Just tickle it.
But there's a feeling there for the pro skateboarder, you think?
Well, I think that the scale is really the crux.
This nasty
He's
stuff.
gotta do it on a big scale.
The crux or the crutch?
This is the crutch, sorry.
They are very similar words, but
No, they're totally different. The crux is.
I mean, they sound very similar. The crux.
And the crux is that.
The crutch must be used.
I think
The crux is.
The crutch must be used.
I think
The crux is.
Yeah, I think the
Do you
crux
need the
is
crutch?
The supposedly essential.
I think the crux is more the supposedly essential value
the inspiration
inside of the
Speed it
work.
up way more.
The thing that
that even when you cut down,
emanates from.
that's what.
That even when you cut down
It's gotta
all
go
of
like 4 seconds up.
I feel like there's got to be
I feel like there's got to be a name for something.
also something Kant talked about that I'm remembering now. That's
Also something Kant
reiterated.
You give her
later
like
on,
5 seconds.
we reiterated later on.
Something like the wisdom in the studium. Like the thing.
In the studium, like the thing when you see an image,
You know that.
you know, that image of,
And then the other
thing that happens when you look at an image or
studium, which is like
like mentioning a philosopher,
certain thing, or it's you know
relationship to something beyond just a very sensual quality in the work. And those kind of
take part with
interest.
The studium and the
Punctum.
punctum.
But that wasn't what Kant used. That's what another philosophical writer used.
We talked about this tonight.
I know. And this
I'm just remembering
sort of illustrates our crutches. So could we do an episode without any crutches?
I mean, I feel like we're pretty crutchless right now.
Oh no,
No, we've got crutches right now.
this is a crutch.
What's our crutch? These drawings and makings?
Yeah.
Could be. We could go back to my place.
The cube is a crutch. The video is a crutch. The work itself is a crutch, but someone has to get it somehow.
So what?
What is it a crutch for?
What if?
Is it a
What
crutch
if
for
we-
the?
Yes. So what if we?
Sure, if it is, because I think that's like saying that school is a crutch for critical thinking. I think that it's merely a vehicle for the thinking
Yes.
to take place. That if school didn't exist, perhaps the critical thinking wouldn't have occurred at such a level.
Oh, totally.
So, and at the same time, if the crutch weren't there, perhaps the viewer would not be as invested in the project.
Right.
But a crutch is nothing more than trust at the end of the day, or almost like a tangible form of trust. You know, or supposedly, if you spend X amount of dollars, someone will be more likely to take what you say with more credibility.
No, brightness on the computer.
If you spend X amount of hours on something,
Play the brightness?
then you must somehow be more reputable.
We buy into that, or we realize that this is what is thought. And so we attempt to exhibit it despite the fact that in every case it is only 27 minutes.
I mean, when is it a crutch, and when is it actually something that benefits? A crutch would be unnecessary, whereas this, I still believe, is necessary in a way. Though I'm up for trying other things.
I was just sort of playing devil's advocate for it all.
I mean, like, I think that Trinosops, in a way, is not a crutch necessarily kind of gallery space. However, I think it could be played up more. Like, I think the public library or an unart space place is far less of a crutch and is further away. I can never get it to turn on. Alright. I think the trick is to merely critique what we are talking about on a greater level. Like the conversations at a certain point. I mean, the problem with the drawings right now is that I'm not sure I'm going back and giving them the time of day, but maybe the 100th one that I do would actually be something that looks very credible.
Well, so
Or maybe I look back and find drawing number 56 was really credible as well.
I'm just finding that it's opening me up to a space to make in a way that I'm really intrigued by. But my biggest fear would be that I just am feeling incapable of adding anything to the conversation, in part because I'm focused on something else, and also because I'm just feeling a little lost at the moment.
The other part about it that's kind of strange and slightly off-putting is that we're doing two things at once, right? Or three, or four, or five different
Use it
things.
as an up. Use it as a lens. Use it as a
I'm not
lens.
sure that's a healthy way to go about things, but it still
I
seems.
think it's
Pick up an image
I
in the
think that it's an earnest portrait of the way
Yeah.
things tend to happen, though.
No.
It's got a focus on it.
I think you're right. All right.
Are we done?
We are done with this episode.
What did you draw?
Time for bed. I drew dinosaur people, guy with the beard,
Oh, you have a fish hook.
some glasses, those glasses, woman beside the pebbles, Rambo with a lemon, smells
Very nice.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm in ahead. And it was a whale.
There's a whale? Wow. That's good. I like Rambo.
How did it
Is
make
it
that
me?
noise?
Yeah, it's always.
But, I was also thinking it was funny that it kind of looked like you. At first I was thinking it was me, and then I thought that maybe it was some hybrid version of you and me.
What?
We didn't show our pieces.
There it is. Yeah. Gotta show it.
You must produce the work.
It is worth at least $40 right now inside in my drawing.
It's stunning.
Would you take this?
No! Wow. I like Subtle Jesus.
Subtle Jesus? Oh yeah, looking up.
Oh yes, just the looking up. Hey. It's got a little whale tail. Where? Okay.
I think it's good. I think we should make another 20 episodes. We could make them tomorrow.
We could make them tomorrow. I teach tomorrow. I typically go into work at noon-ish. But I could go in later. And you have to hang out with Rachel tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
But it's-
You that day.
Yeah. It's Valentine's Day, so I don't think I can do it.
Did the episode end?
One thing about that life
Did the episode?
book talks about is on your life talked about.
It's the end of the episode. The episode is ended.
So
we were working on it.
Episode 6?
It's still filming.
No, 5.
Now we're just
No,
watching.
we aren't.
Now we're just hanging out.
6.
No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. It's 6.
Bro, it's over 27 minutes.
Is it talks about a sense of play? Yeah, okay, yeah. Alright, what are you?
I just thought it was
How's
good.
my bite?
Oh, it's a good bite. No. No, don't do that.
That's the end of the episode.
No, it isn't. Look.
It's the end of the
Oh.
episode. Man.
It is. It's not any worse.
That's
a good thing. I'm sorry, go on. It talks about a sense of play.
Yeah, I mean, of just like a kind of in trying to find happiness in life, of taking risks, but also being able to step back and recognize the joy of
Art making.
just trying things out and playing and seeing what happens.
Right.
And that things pop up, you know, on their own accord. But trying to find them in a way that's healthy and good. Isn't this so shiny now? I think it's really cool. It's like a
Were you drawing with that today?
yes.
What is that?
It's graphite.
Where did you get that?
From an art supply store.
Oh my god, it's very cool.
Yeah, I buy one for my buddy John
It's like a
every
chicken
year.
shawarma, but it's soup
To
form.
him for his birthday.
Like, happy birthday. It's the same thing I got you every year.
Every year, it's what I do with everybody. You get them all the calendar and
It's a crap.
and you better like it because that's what they
I'm sure they like it, Hamilton. I certainly can tell you I do. I love it. Not only do I like it, I love it. Is the ice cream place closed?
I believe so.
Did you ask
Can I grab the other end of this?
yesterday?
Oh, I'm still recording.
Is there a place in here to eat ice cream now?
Do you want to go get ice cream?
Not really.
Tim,
Do you have to go home?
what's that? I should. I feel so tired.
So this is like the end of the season. It's a 6-episode season.
Wait until next March for the next season.
Right?
Torture.
Torture.
What could happen?
Well, we could put it out sooner.
We could do biannual seasons.
People are going to want to binge watch it. So, biannual seasons. You know, when you think about it, there are really 4 seasons a year. Why do shows put out a season a year when there are 4 seasons a year? Huh?
Amazing.
Seems that we should put out 4 seasons a year, 1 per season.
What's great about this is that we are good about including everything in the process, whereas other people don't. You know.
They edit.
Yeah. Well, no. We edit.
We are editing.
Actually, we're doing that right now. But you know, we do
Editing is just the process of making.
We're doing it in a more comprehensive way.
So is editing the process of making which is not shown?
What?
Maybe.
Editing the process.
Because if we're not editing right now, then what are we doing? We're just, I mean, what's the difference between editing and making?
You're filming.
You don't show editing?
I think you. Well, does anyone ever know?
Editing is like cutting up the footage and taking parts out and
No.
or like putting text over it. It's editing the footage. It's going back in after the footage.
But we did that.
Is the episode still going?
Yeah.
No,
Why?
because you're not
It's like an after the
Dude,
season
you're breaking the
discussion.
rules.
It's like a little, it's like a thanks for watching.
Henry, you're not changing the footage. You're just
But we did.
filming
We,
the footage. Right? You've edited.
but we had multiple shots we were choosing from.
Oh, I know.
We had 2 shots going. We were going in between the 2 shots. That's in studio editing, the same thing.
Oh, but you're not editing in the computer.
Not in the
Well,
computer.
not
Well, that's not any
necessarily.
fun.
I mean, well, we also just don't have the funds to pay for that kind of equipment.
You're just making a movie of 2 movies.
2 movies.
Well,
I
they're
mean,
not
like,
good
I don't want to
movies.
expose. These are proprietary tricks.
Yeah. we
can't-
don't want to let people know how
They can't know how it was made. Oh, I mean, for all they know, it's very fancy. Fancy. Hey, so this feels like a pretty good ending, right? We did good?
It's good. It's good.
I think it's good.
What is this record?
Thanks for watching. Delicious sandwiches. Yeah, the soup was great.
Did you just end it?
Not yet. I'm sad.
Well, come sit on the couch with us.
With the camera?
Yeah, come here. I'm here.
While it's still going?
Virginia's here. Bob's here. Yeah.
We fooled you.
Whose record is that?
That's good.
It looks really beautiful.
It's a good one.
Whose is it?
It's the Future Islands.
Oh.
They're very hip and
Wait.
cool.
Are we breaking a copyright?
Oh, damn it! And all of our
they are hip.
we could sing our own songs.
Now this is going on way too long. We just need to say goodbye. We need to end it. Wow, look at the extra ear flaps on Bob. Peace.